Morning, friends. This morning I wanted to share with you a story about one of my longtime yoga students. And I think it's important for you to hear because this episode or whatever, this session is really for those of you that feel stuck. Like you should start working out, you should start practicing yoga, but you have a list of reasons why not. You're not flexible enough, you don't know where to start, you have pain. I'll show you why this student was motivated to come to class and how he had never practiced yoga before and totally does not fit the norm of a yoga student. So usually when we think of a yoga student, we think of someone that's flexible, appears fit, is on the younger side, all these various things. And a few years ago, a student showed up into one of my classes at Prana Yoga Center in La Jolla, where I've been teaching there for years. I teach a yoga wall class, and it's more of a therapeutic style. It's a healthy back class. And so he stumbled into the class. So that's number one, is he's a he. And if any of you have been practicing yoga for over a decade, you have now seen a shift, which is really great, where it was previously a higher percentage of females taking yoga, and now it's a pretty good split of male to females in my class, 50 to 50. There are times where, like last weekend, I taught a workshop, and there was two males, and the rest of the class was females. But so he showed up being the underdog, the male, and he was or is in his mid 60s or so. So definitely not the typical yogi. He was motivated to come to class because he loved golf, or still loves golf, I should say. And at the time was not able to get on the course because of back pain. He couldn't twist, he couldn't bend forward. Now, ideally, in this type of scenario, I obviously recommend going to physical therapy first, because the risk of going to class before coming to PT is you can make the situation worse. However, at the time, he didn't realize I was a PT and just literally stumbled into class because he saw the title that it was for a healthy back, and he realized he needed some health in his spine so he could golf again. So that was his primary reason for showing up. Never practiced yoga, didn't really even know what it was, just thought possibly it could help him get his golf game back. And the first few classes were pretty challenging for him. He didn't even know any of the postures. This yoga wall, this strange contraption was new to him. All sorts of barriers. That he was one of the few males in class he was on one of the older students of class, many barriers as to why he could have stopped coming, but he didn't. He kept it up for whatever reason. Whatever I had to say really resonated with him. He trusts me and my cueing to help him get better. And he was starting to notice a difference in how he could move in his day-to-day. And sure enough, I forget how long into the practice, it was definitely a few months, several months, into him coming consistently once a week, so it wasn't anything crazy. And with some supplemental things to do at home, he was able to get on the golf course again, and he said his drive was much further because he felt more confident that he could twist without any negative consequences. And he still keeps up the practice to this day. And as a side note, it's very funny. I always use essential oils in my classes, and he really got into the oils and is one of my biggest fans for use of the oils in class, to my surprise and delight. So I just wanted to share this story with you because sometimes I think all of us, myself included, you'll hear next week one of my fears and blocks and how I got over that. So sneak preview to that and the results. Stay tuned so you can find out what I will be releasing next week, but we all have them, and it's important, I think, to hear stories of other people's successes that might be in a similar situation or position as you, so you know that it is possible to move forward. It just really takes putting one foot in front of the other. And this individual, I mean, now it's been years, still comes to class, still plays his golf game, hasn't really had any major setbacks, and in fact has moved out of San Diego, but whenever he is in town, he always pops into class. So he's one of my favorite stories, and I'm always happy to have him in class and his energy, and have him share his stories with other students. And he always comes to workshops too when he can, so I really appreciate that. So I hope you guys maybe get a little bit of insight in that. If you have your own questions on how to start yoga, then I'm happy to answer them. Just leave a comment below. If you have your own fears and stories, please comment below, share them, because again, I think the more stories that we hear of other individuals overcoming obstacles and hurdles, then it motivates and drives us. So I hope this helps your Thursday. Have a great one.